Welcome back, everybody, to the Archon Team League Championships. My name is Frodan. I'm joined by Noctis from Team Complexity and Savitz from Team Liquid. We've had a fun first series that went the distance, where Team Archon was able to take out the Foursome boys 6-5. And this series, I hope, promises to be the same, although you never know. I'm still looking for our first 6-0, right? A decisive, clean sweep, domination, utter destruction of the other team. Maybe this will be it, because we have Team Celestial coming up against Value Town. Noxus, what do you think about the game so far today, and what are you looking forward to this upcoming match?
I think the games today were actually really amazing. Like, aside from the fact that, there were a few unexpected matches that I think didn't go the way I thought. Like, the Priest matchups I thought were kind of interesting, knowing that those were the first two Priests we've seen, or at least I've seen so far, in the event. I think we saw Dog play it on the second week. But that was it. Like, besides that, I think nobody else did. And, like, seeing two of them in one series was actually pretty cool.
Oh. Yeah, those Priests really, like, they seemed to struggle early on, but they did manage to grab wins on both sides with the Priests fairly early on. And they didn't end up with it just going down because of that. In this match, we have some other stuff, it seems. Silent Storm with Paladin and Druid. Two of those classes that are usually not considered top tier.
Yeah, it's those two slots again. We spoke of this, but I think Paladin and Druid together really are straying away from the fact that you would usually auto-include Rogue in your lineup. Like, very often in this league so far, we've seen pretty much Rogue almost every time. Like, 5 classes have been very standard, and then the 6th one is weird, or one of the bottom 4. And Silent Storm's picking up 2 classes here that are usually considered the filler for the 6th slot, and he's using 2 of them, like Druid and Paladin, to the same player as well. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, they had Frozen Eyes play the Rogue previous weeks, but now they thought that Rogue would not be such a good pick against Team Value Town. Silent Storm really showing some flexibility here. He's been playing Shaman and he's been playing Warlock. He's been playing a lot of different things. And now, again, it's something completely new. And Kibler with the Shaman, that has to be the max, right? He played it last week. He won his 1 game with it. Why would he change?
He actually played it both weeks so far.
Oh, he played it both weeks?
I believe Kibler is one of
he didn't play it last week. He played, like, Hunter Druid, I think.
In one of the matches, he did play Mech Shaman.
You might be right. But I do recall that Kibler's been playing a lot of Mech Shaman in tournaments. I think it's probably because I saw him in other series like Vulcan. And Kibler has also been one of the few who have undefeated in the ATLC.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah, he's one of the few remaining people. There's not many left, for sure.
Silent Storm is one of them as well. So we're going to maybe see one of them lose the game. Like, they could be defeated. One of them is going to have to be.
Player, but, I mean, he might not be the one that most people would have expected to have those perfect scores at this point. Still, like, there's so many better-known players. Let's say Tiddler. Tiddler has been on fire. He won DreamHack Summer. He's the all-time money leader in tournament winnings in Hearthstone, and his score is not that great right now. I don't even know how bad it is, but I believe he might even have the worst score of all players in the league right now.
He's got 1-4, I think. No, maybe 1-5. You're right. Maybe he lost. Actually, yeah, you're right. 1-7.
Wow.
He's lost. He just keeps going higher and higher.
Yeah, I keep just stacking it. But there was one bad week for Tiddler. I think the first week was pretty bad for him, where he got 4 losses, and that really hurt his overall score. So he's not nearly as high as he wants to be. But that doesn't mean anything. Like, as far as player skill goes, I think he's still a very solid player. There was a missed lethal last week, which accounted for one of the losses with a Patron Warrior, which, very often in this format, one loss will escalate, because suddenly, your partners have to pick up the win, and then you have to replay the deck again, and that's always a really complicated situation.
You might still end up, after losing 1 game like that, you might end up losing another one with the same deck, and that's two game losses for that 1 mistake. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, we'll see. They're up against one of the hottest teams out there, including how Dog's been performing, but even Trump. Trump's been really holding it down. Maybe not the best performance last week, but this week, hopefully he can swing it back in his momentum. Let's take a look at a video and get to know Trump a little bit better.
Hi, I'm Trump. I'm playing for Team Value Town. I'm known for being the mayor of Value Town. I like the control-heavy decks which get value out of the longer games, and a lot of people know me since I'm usually a pretty early source of first contact for people getting into Hearthstone. The format of the Team League is cool. I expect our team to perform averagely. I've been playing primarily ranked, so I'm not that afraid. I haven't played Arena very often. I focused a lot on climbing the ladder and getting that top 20 finish each month. For new Arena players, I recommend them go look at a Arena guide, a pick list. Have some iDraft arenas for those who want to pick along, and then there's really good resources out there, such as Hearth Arena's tier list. Thanks for cheering our team on.
All right, so Trump last week struggled a little bit with the Paladin. This week, learned his lesson, no Paladin. He's got Warlock and Warrior instead. I believe we're going to be getting to the first game in just a second here, but I'm looking forward to see how it's going to turn around. Team Celestial really needs a win because only one team is truly eliminated after the regular season finishes, and Team Celestial currently sitting there unopposed at 8th place.
Oh wow, Paladin against Warrior. I think Trump is... Wait, is it going to be a Control Warrior or Patron? Because I think Trump might be one of the players who might bring the Control version. If he brought the Control deck, he's up against it here. Like, Paladin is a horrible matchup if that's the case. But if he's playing the Patrons, he should be just fine.
What if he's playing the Dragon Warrior?
Dragon Warrior.
Yeah, it's been looking up a little bit of...
pretty bad against Paladin.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Control, basically, except a little worse in that specific matchup.
Yeah, the reason why it's so bad, why the Control Warrior is so bad against Paladin is the way that the hero powers line up. Warrior can't easily clear the 1/1s with with the armor up. So those are eventually going to stack up, and it's hard to keep them at bay.
Yep, absolutely. We'll see how it ends up doing, because the mid-range Paladin is capable of curving out very powerfully, overwhelming the Warrior.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
This is excellent.
Maybe just a muster for battle and allows to be really powerful, and hoping that your opponent doesn't have Whirlwind. But even then, there's still ways for you to be really good to pressure the Warrior. Because I've been seeing some mid-range Shaman decks hit the top ends of Legend recently. And I always ask the same question, like, how do you beat a Patron Warrior that seems to dominate you? And the answer is the same. Just make sure to be really aggressive early on, pressure a ton, and just watch them crumble. Because they have to use weapons to clear, and then they're double dipping damage, and you can just push them out of the game.
Yeah, like, that's the theory. I've been playing a bunch of different Shaman decks in the past couple of days, trying to get my Golden Shaman, which I finally got today. And I struggled. Like, I didn't find a way. Like, Mech Shaman was the only version that I was able to beat Patrons with.
Consistently, right?
Well, not consistently, but like in general, like have a chance.
Really, I really thought that maybe it's pretty good against because it's like, I feel like Mech Shaman's one of the best at like really punishing decks that have to use their own health to remove. But
it's still inconsistent, and it struggles with some of the weapons. But the thing is, when you drop that the Fell Reaver on turn 5, if there's no execute, the Fell Reaver might be able to win the game alone, because it's gonna connect a couple of times. The burn cards from it don't really matter that much.
Yeah, true that. Well, looks like the early game curve has been decided by putting out 2 of the strongest cards available to it, and there's no Fiery War Axe for Trump. Instead, he just armors up.
Yeah, plays it slowly. It's kind of a slow playing, but at the same time, the none of the options that opened up were really that amazing. Oh my god!
I mean, it's gonna get cleaned up by Whirlwind, but still, he gets 3 Chuckles, and in case that there was no Whirlwind, it's so strong.
Yeah, it's a crazy option, and then. Yeah.
I mean, you don't Alder here or Chow Hero Power. Do you Chow Hero Power? Okay.
It's 2 juggles. Versus 3.
Yeah, it's actually gonna work out better than the Master would have because of the Whirlwind. So well done there by Silent Storm. For me, like it's like, oh, then 3 Master. I have a Juggler. It's like so hard to pass up.
The upside to the Muster battle play is very high. Like, if you can run away with the game at that point, it's just, they can't do anything.
Like, if it was not there, if the Whirlwind was not there, it would have been so huge. This is amazing by Silent Storm, the way he's curving out here. Even a Shredder for this turn, it's perfect.
Trump's hand isn't looking nearly as bad as it did a minute ago, though. Like, the Unstable Ghoul with the Whirlwind is making this a little bit more bearable. The double Ghoul with the Whirlwind makes it even more bearable if you want to go for some kind of a crazy play along those lines. Acolyte of Pain is a very, very consistent play.
Already very well.
I don't think Trump's out of it yet by any means. Like he really struggled with the early game.
Yeah.
But this
Warrior needs to struggle with the early game, otherwise Paladin has no chance in this matchup. It'd be like if Paladin was incapable of building any kind of pressure early on, this matchup would almost certainly be like 90% plus for Patron. But because there is this ability for high curves, whether it's mini bot plays into shredders or like muster for battle into quartermaster, like those kinds of things exist to really try to make the warrior uncomfortable.
Yeah,
the Acolyte of Pain here is pretty sweet. I mean, if you can get a card draw if you want it, which is probably the most sensible way to approach the turn, because it's gonna help you curve with the hero power afterwards, and you're probably gonna lose a shredder no matter what.
Well, Silent Storm's gonna go for his own Acolyte, gonna take the extra draw from Trump's
another ghoul,
unstable ghoul.
Spawn a ghoul, shredder. Do it.
No way. Okay. There you go.
That would have been insane.
Yeah.
Does it matter if you trade into this, or can you
Battle
just hit the
Rage?
face instead? Ah, Battle Rage is
Battle Rage, yeah, but still, he knows that he needs to end the game fairly quickly, so... And then there's already a bunch of cards, and the Acolyte is going to be drawing more for Trump, so Trump is not in a spot where he would need the Battle Rage that much, so... Silent Storm, I believe it's correct to go face there.
Yeah.
Battle Rage is still excellent here. Battle Rage gives you flexibility to add Armor Smith to challenge the board, use the Fire War Axe to clean up his Acolyte of Pain, or even draw into something better if you pick it up.
Yeah, 2-mana Arcane Intellect, not too bad.
There's so many options for
Not
Trump.
well.
It's not even funny at this point.
Wow.
Like this turn was so full of options, and he's got card draw to last for weeks.
Yeah, I like setting up Armor Smith, and then having the Acolyte attack, and then see what you get. Fire War Axe down to 1/2. It seems like that's the best option because you get the weapon out now to answer whatever comes out, and then as the turns progress, you need to start thinking about how much like Frothing Berserker can do. Oh, execute.
Wow.
He's gonna go for the Whirlwind play and get himself.
Does he execute that? Oh yeah, he got the execute. I think that's a fine play.
It's a pretty reasonable
Losing
one.
the
He's gonna-
execute doesn't feel great, but still getting the clear at this point. With that kind of hand, I think it's just fine. And this is gonna be a bad turn from Silent Storm.
See, that was interesting because I'm also in the camp to believe that as the Paladin, you're always afraid to build your board too much. So like the more minions that come up, like is it a liability to like let them stay alive? Because some of them were less than 3 attack, right? We had the Crazed Alchemist, and I guess a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit can get buffed. So, but still, there's like minions out there which can make the Frothing Berserker stronger or get the Grim Patron value. Certainly interesting.
And, yeah, I think it's a big worry of the Paladin players, and it turns out to be true most of the time. It's just that you still can't prevent playing them, unless you're looking at like a guaranteed lethal. Very often you still can't afford not playing those things.
There's no way he can avoid playing those monsters. I mean,
Yeah.
What does he play next then? Healbot, 5-mana 3/3. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean it's on curve with the hero power.
It doesn't become vulnerable to a Grim Patron, but it does to an unstable ghoul. That's also another challenge too that people don't really talk too much about. It's like the fact is the unstable ghoul opens up another world that people start playing around Grim Patron. It's like, well, a 3-attack minion now can kill the unstable ghoul. It's really unfortunate.
After Peacekeeper.
Well, you know, if you get the muster for battle quartermaster, it's a pretty impressive board.
Yeah, he can do it because in case that there's the Warzone Grim Patron thing coming, he does have the consecration ready.
Yeah.
So it will clean up all those triggers.
And you've got the. You're just gonna leave one patron up.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's so huge. Like if he goes for the Warzone commander thing here, then he's gonna lose the Warzone commander. There's only one left. So if Trump goes for that play, goes for the Grim Patron thing, then not drawing the last Warzone commander could potentially lose him the game.
I think on the flip side, is he even okay letting all these 1/1 survive and then getting a second Frothing Berserker with like the 2 whirlwind effects, the unstable ghoul and the whirlwind?
What about quartermaster? If that hits, you're gonna lose the game right away, right?
Not necessarily, because the Paladin...
yeah, Frothing would win.
Yeah, the Froth... If you get the... Actually, no, you don't have enough mana for that. You only can play the 2 Frothings. You can't even play a Whirlwind effect.
You'd be having to wait 2 turns for that, yeah.
I think Whirlwind might be fine. The Warsong is...
I do like what you're saying, though.
He doesn't even have time for it anymore. There's no time.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good point. Take too long to make decisions.
That is actually really funny to me. Okay, so by doing this, he's actually allowing himself to do the patron play next turn and maybe get more value out of it, and it's also going to let him get a Frothing play if that comes up. So by not going all in right now, he's still...
Oh!
Man. The Harrison Jones shutdown on the Death Spite, pretty good. The 1/1s you're not really married to. You should probably cash in on them and kill the Gnomish Inventor beforehand.
Yep, for sure.
Yep. And 1 damage to the face too, so that way the Whirlwind effect clears it.
And that Death Spite going into Museum. Whoa. There's still 1 more Whirlwind and Unstable Cool, so he does have access to that type of... The Whirlwind effect still later on.
Yeah, 3 Whirlwinds.
It's not a complete disaster, but Death Spite is one of the key cards in Patron, for sure.
That's also an important card too. Defender of Argus is pretty valuable now that he'd already used one of his executes. And so he's got Tyrion and Defender, so like that's going to be really hard to get through in the next couple turns. I mean, I still feel like there's a chance for the Paladin here, even though I still lean towards the Grim Patron.
I think so too. Because eventually the Frothing will happen, and I'm not sure if the Paladin can end the game in time. But on the other hand, there's Tyrion, and one execute was already spent. So how efficiently can he get through it? Because if he doesn't find the lethal damage, for example, the second... Oh, that's a huge draw.
Yeah, that is a crazy momentum pickup for next turn. Like, you play this next turn, you're getting every combo piece you wanted for a lot cheaper.
That's a huge deal, because if he wasn't finding the lethal combo in time, or the Emperor, for example, then the Tyrion just might have been enough to end the game before it happens.
Interestingly enough, the Defend of Argus with Zombie Chow stops the patron spam a little bit. It's a little consideration. I mean, the heal bot and the Zombie Chow are good recipients of the buff, just because of the Grim Patron.
One thing to call to attention to, I'm not sure how much of an impact this has, but Trump had the opportunity to battle rage when he had that Gnomish Inventor sitting there against the 1/1s.
Right.
And he didn't play it. He floated 2 mana, if you recall, because he was thinking about playing Unstable Ghoul. If he played that, hypothetically speaking, he could have picked up Thorson, making his cards cheaper and even be deeper into his deck. So I wonder the implications of that. Because the thing about it, you brought up a really good point, is Tyrion just like too fast here? Is he like 1 turn ahead? Because now you have to play Thorson, but then are you being pushed out of the game at that point? And so if he was able to drop Thorson preemptively because of the card draw, maybe that would have changed the outcome. But now he's 1 turn behind.
Did he set up lethal here? Trying to figure there's like no armor ups because he can go Defender and...
Well, an Execute's still a really good out. He has to pick it up, but the Execute's still amazing. No matter how you look at it.
Slam is really useful here too.
Okay.
And there's so many plays that can be made on this board.
Wow.
There are so many plays.
I think it's going for some kind of big draw.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Okay. No draw. Just patrons, okay.
So he's gonna sacrifice one of them with the...
Yeah, he doesn't want to take any... He doesn't want to, like, die next turn, so he'll suicide a couple...
Get 5 health back.
Yep. Control the board. Demand a response. But,
then there's gonna be the Consecration coming, and now there's no more Warzone.
This patron is a lot less effective than I'm pretty sure Trump would have liked it to be, because this weapon is basically what's going to allow Silent Storm to wipe the board away without too much of a worry, and he can even follow it up with an anti heal bot just to make sure he's topped off.
The Master for Battle, who needs Aspringer anyway?
Yeah, you have a Light Justice.
Yeah, man, it's a 1/4. I mean, it gives 4 cards to your opponent when they Harrison Jones it. They mill faster.
Yeah, you can mill your opponent.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about that, because when he played the first Master for Battle, he chose to not attack that with Light Justice. It was probably some considerations with Harrison Jones. And he wanted to, because Trump's hand was almost full. Oh, speak of that.
Speaking of the devil, we were talking about Emperor Thorson.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And this is I would venture to say this is a decent patron turn, but then again, with the Whirlwind looming, you can wait one turn and probably get decent value anyway. I just like trading patron Inner Rage and then force him to have equality consec or.
Would you be willing to
frothing?
Well, I wasn't gonna suggest frothing but I guess you can also be more aggressive. But I was thinking about even drawing more, because Battle Rage is just sitting there, man. Like I'm just trying to figure out ways to get it out, because I think a higher priority is like figuring out ways you can kill your opponent, and a lot of it involves drawing cards.
Just draw one, or
well,
so I don't know if he could like go for the Whirlwind because of how many Whirlwind effects he's already burned through. Both of the the first Whirlwind was spent. Both of the unstable ghouls are gone.
There is a slam option and then Battle Rage, but that feels like you weaken your board too much.
Yeah. Violence Storm doesn't have much left.
Nope.
Yeah, his hand is a bit dry. Leon hands are gonna have to come out like.
Second frothing.
Can't charge. No charge, no win.
So
right?
let's slam first, right? If we slam first, then we can pick up the second Fiery War Axe.
Actually, wait. Slam Whirlwind. He's not quite.
Oh, wait.
It's looking like a lot of.
If he picks up the second Warsong Commander, would that be like enough damage to potentially win the game at all?
Not right away, I don't think. Not from 30, but he's gonna be close enough. It's gonna be enough next turn with the Whirlwind effect and the patrons and everything. But
okay.
Slam Inner Rage.
Well, he's gonna go for like a big Battle Rage with a lot of patrons. This is fine.
So, Inner Rage, Whirlwind.
By the way, this Frothing Berserker is gonna get huge.
Oh yeah.
Look at that card draw. You asked about that Battle Rage earlier, right, Frodan?
Thing is, I don't know if he has enough animation time for this to all be.
Frothing is not like forever.
Yeah, so I think he just has to slam to kill and then hit the face.
But he can't hit the face. He's almost out of cards. I don't see anything, man. This is...
Alright.
It's a little bit scary for her.
No, he definitely got the slam off. It's all about if he got the attack with the frothing.
Did he get the frothing attack off? Like, that's the big question.
That's what I wonder.
He almost certainly has.
Alright,
yeah,
he did. BGH! Right up there. Oh, wow. Wait, no, it doesn't do anything here. Well, I mean, it kind of does, but not enough.
Well, what really makes it difficult is to execute, or not even. It's like the fact that his opponent drew his entire deck. It's like he has so many resources at his disposal. So no matter even if he trades down BGH and Sludge Belcher, his opponent has Warsong, and like the Sludge Belcher is so bad for like the Frothing Berserker because there's so many ways for it to add damage to the Frothing Berserker that you just die.
Yeah.
That should do it.
Man, that lies justice, drawing 4 cards.
Yikes! Look at that.
Another yeah. Has to be enough.
Yeah, with execute alone, it's enough, basically. Like, you don't even have to start stacking.
Yeah. Cruel Taskmaster. Slam. Slam is man mode.
Slam execute, because, you know, why not?
Yeah, I guess I was thinking more like Cruel Taskmaster execute, but it's all good. It's not even really BM, it's just kind of how it is.
Yeah.
This is more than enough.
Is it? Yeah, it's gonna be exact. Almost. Oh, yeah, you're right.
You can keep killing and adding more damage to it.
With the 1/1 and then trade.
That's already
lethal.
20.
But not by much. I think it's exact. Yeah, it is.
He had one more patron that he could attack with.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I was like, he's not that high overkill.
If he went Cruel Taskmaster, he actually would have even optimized more damage too, because he would have been able to attack with the Cruel Taskmaster, and then and then that adds damage to minions, like a bunch of stuff that's not really that relevant now, because he basically could have done 20 plus damage that turn.
Yeah.
So a very important first win here for Trump, because he gets some confidence back. I think last week he struggled a little bit with that mid-range Paladin.
Yeah. Yep. And now he's punishing the opponent who does play Pally, so I guess table's turn.
Kind of the expected result there after we noticed it's patron, and Trump had Silent Storm curve out really well. Like the starting hand from him was amazing, But Trump had the tools to deal with that early aggression, and when the game gets that far, there's very little hope for the Paladin, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't help that his late game, like once he loses the early board, and it's funny because GVG allowed Paladins to get that early board, but as a consequence of that, when they lose it, it feels even worse than they used to be. It's just that now at least they've got a tiny opportunity.
Yeah, when the game goes far, the big thing is how efficiently the battle rage can be used, because it's not even difficult to draw multiple cards with that, and Paladin doesn't really have a good way to keep up with the card draw.
Yeah.
You might play one Legion hands, but that's 8 mana for 3 cards. Battle Rage is 2 mana for
17.
Sometimes 8 cards or 7. So, those don't really like. It's not exactly fair.
Yeah, we'll see exactly. I'm surprised to know if on the 22nd we'll see some changes made to the way Patron operates in any way, shape, or form. Again, new cards might come out that make the deck obsolete, so that might solve the problem on its own. But
it's next week, man. ATLC I think might even be changing a little bit of things in anticipation for that, because if there's going to be a broadcast going on of some kind of announcement, then well, it's the same time as the Archon Team League, so I think next week we might even have some changes. This is kind of exciting. It's coming mid-season, really, right? Mid-season.
July 22, I got one of these things today, one of the scrolls. It's pretty awesome.
Does it play the trumpet sound?
No, mine was like broken. It had the thing in there with the sound thing. I saw the videos.
They like
you. Supposed to play the sound, but mine was like not playing, and I was so sad. Yeah. Return to sender. No, just kidding. But
so it means that they like you, Savits. They just like you the least out of everyone else because they gave you a broken one.
I think you just need to buff the trumpet, man. That's it. It's a rusty horn is what you got.
I guess it's pretty cool. Yeah.
The scroll itself is pretty awesome, like being able to hold on to it. That's right. Everyone else feels left out. Boo-hoo. Boo-hoo.
Yeah, but I was thinking of buying all the GVG little invention things if I could find them online, but no one's actually willing to sell them. I collect all the GVG announcement scrolls.
It's going to be Tuesday and Thursday, by the way. I got confirmation from Mamaz that we'll be shifting those dates. We'll let you know more about it after the jump, though. We're going to go ahead and hop into Frozen Ice versus Trump, Hunter versus Warlock, going to game number 2.
Yeah, Trump is going ahead very, very... he's getting his 2 lineups first. Frozen Ice is more of an aggressive player that I think his strategy so far in the tournament hasn't really paid off too well. He's a very aggressive player. And I have to assume he's going to be playing again those very aggressive Hunter and Warlock decks. Maybe.
Yeah, Trump with the handlock. I've been playing a lot of this matchup lately because I've been laddering with handlock, and surprise, there's a lot of Hunters in the in the ladder right now, as always. So yeah, it looks like the face hunter, and I think that's actually might be easier for the handlock, but he still needs to get the right draws, the Molten Giants basically. That's the key turn, and the Sun Fury. He has a Dark Bomb and Sun Fury. I would expect him to keep those 2. They are pretty damn good.
Yeah, these are really effective cards if you draw into the Molten. Yeah, the Face Hunter, it's so weird because the Face Hunter is more aggressive, and yet it struggles more against handlock because its damage is pretty consistent. It's every turn it does maybe 5-6 damage, but then you have Midrange Hunter, which is it just explodes in damage because it builds the board so much that it can do 18 in one turn because it has a high main on it. And then all of a sudden, you've been trying to play Molten Giants, but you can't really because it's just been curving well. And all of a sudden, it hits you for a truck for 12 or
Yeah, so you go from healthy to dead instead of slowly being ground down to 0.
Yeah, with the mid-range hunter, you can even sometimes play around the Moltens a little bit. But with the face hunter, you just gotta go and hope that there's no Moltens.
Yep, every single time. And then when they have Moltens, they also have Antique Heal Box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rule, right? You get them paired all the time. Pick one up, pick the other.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough draw from Frozen Ice. Oh, and he gets the Leah.
Frozen Ice has also been struggling too statistically in the league, and it feels unjustified because again, these players on Team Celestial are very good, both on ladder and in tournaments.
Yeah,
really it just feels like they unfortunately have either had some bad draws or some bad matchups. It could also be chalked up to their deck preparation too, but I don't really feel like that's even been the biggest factor so far.
Yeah, I mean, if you are calling Tiddler bad just based on his record, you better have a gray face. It's like there's no way.
No space.
Yeah, like there has to be a kappa in there somewhere because he's an amazing player, and I don't think like aside from like that one mislead, that his play hasn't been off either.
Yeah. No, he even spotted it. He just didn't have enough time.
Oh yeah.
People just miss it straight up because they're like, oh, oops.
Had too much stuff to do at the same time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in this game, it's looking really good for Trump. Double heal bots and a Belcher from next turn. Molten Giants. I feel like he has everything.
Yeah, he's got the heal bot that I would like to point out actually got paired with the Molten Giant.
Yeah, and that's like it's such a big deal. The Owl is already gone too, because the Belcher is gonna heal for 7, kinda, while dealing damage.
Yeah, and Frozen Ice has both of his weapons, which is not exactly the best. It is still burn, but you know, he's gonna have to take a little bit of his time here, and I like that he's not just full out rushing to hit the face because he knows that he wouldn't be able to answer those things very easily.
Wow. Okay.
This is the revenge of Trump from last week.
This is Trump just swinging back in and be like, you know what? That last week was a fluke.
That Belcher is so huge right now. I think it just needs to bump into it here and play another bow. I mean, yeah.
I think
it's not going to be enough direct damage.
How about Kill Command? You have to keep
the key, right? Like, you don't want to necessarily part ways with Kill Command because of what it gives you when the Molten Giants do inevitably come out.
Do you feel like his win condition here, like to keep the Kill Command and quick shot, to try to burst him down after the Moltens? Like, just hope that there's when the Moltens come, that there's only taunts and not a heal bot same turn.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think, as you mentioned, the burn is definitely the thing you want to keep. In this matchup, it's one of those things where you can contest the board fairly well mid-game, early game against the Warlock, because he tends to play very slowly and you get to respond to it very often, or they're forced to have the Dark Bombs coils. But then when you get to the late game, they start dropping the Belchers, dropping the Moltens. The burn that you want to use on the minions is very often ineffective, because then you just have to deal with the minions, and you have with the burn, then you have no way to push for damage.
When I'm playing Handlock and I see a Kill Command on my Belcher, I'm like so happy about it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm never gonna die from 15 to 0 in 1 turn or 2 when I don't have time to heal.
Oh my goodness, this might be one of those turns where actually a Dark Bomb on own face would be good, because that would allow him to play both of the Moldens and Sun. This is like one of those few times.
Would you actually right. Hellfire and double Molten? You couldn't taunt, but...
You can taunt them.
He's actually right.
Just looking at the heal bots in his hand too. Like, there's no way 7 mana is gonna add up to 11 damage. I don't know.
you underestimate hunters. No, but you're right. I really don't see how that's gonna be possible, especially with the...
I guess double quick shot and Kill Command, but he just saw a Kill Command too.
Yeah.
This seems a bit safer. I guess it's fine.
This would have been so next level though.
Yeah.
I wonder if he saw it.
Great play, but might have been alright there. Would have had 3 less health and 1 Dark Bomb less in his hand, but also 1 Molten time trying to taunt it up.
Dark Bomb your own face.
Oh,
I like it, Savitz. It's creative.
Next level.
It really is next level because it's really counterintuitive to receive that much blowback. Try instead of the Molten Giants.
Yeah. I'm out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Well, here, Frozen Ice, he's in a really awkward spot again because he just drew Mad Scientist when he already has the trap.
Yeah.
So they overlap. And where does this weapon hit even go? He can.
I guess you have to sacrifice everything, and you take 8 just to kill the giant. Otherwise, I don't see how you're supposed to keep putting pressure up. Like, it's just not happening, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, he kinda has to do it. I mean, it feels bad, but it seems like the only play. I guess he can play the trap here, not that with the weapon. Oh.
Yeah, trap might be okay because it just gives him another charge of the bow.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking for here.
Oh yeah, and he saw 1 Molten. It would be madness to play around too, I think. There's no way in this position that he can play around the second Molten anyhow.
There's no more Taunter, so at this point, it's still possible. Well, then again, with the double heal bot, it's going to be really hard.
Double heal, but it's such a big deal. And is Trump already setting up lethal for next turn? Yeah, he is, because he has now 13 power on the board and another
Dark
6 in
Bomb
his hand. Yeah.
with the Hellfire. Wait.
His opponent, right? I saw like the mouse going.
Oh yeah, no. If he wanted to kill it, he could just mortal coil his own.
Yeah,
his Unfury Protector. That'd be interesting for sure.
Oh, that's not a bad card. That's pretty helpful
for
actually.
The quick shot dream.
You might. Mad Scientist quick shot actually allows him to cycle and kill 2 minions on the board, and he keeps the hounds.
Yeah, he has to kill 2 minions on board, or he's dead. Like, there's no other way because there's the Hellfire still.
And he has to kill with quick shot as well.
Yeah. But is that a winning play? I don't know. But on the other hand, he does know that no Hellfires have been cast yet.
Yeah, the winning play is definitely to like probably kill one of the minions, like the Sunfury Protector, and then charge and hope he doesn't have any removal. He just used the Dark Bomb too to the face, right?
Yeah, so you have to expect that he's pushing for lethal. If he's Dark Bombing your face here, he's definitely going for something.
Quick shot into Hunter's Mark. Can you believe?
Oh my god.
Can you believe? Insane.
Nope.
Nah.
I believed, but I'm sorry, Frodan, it wasn't enough.
Yeah, well, he did do the one play that keeps him alive, so that's good for him. But still, like, Trump is gonna heal back to 21. Like, wow.
Yeah, the heal back to 21 is pretty devastating here.
Misha might be the only way to win. Like Alpha Animal Companion. It's like
maybe a second quick shot. Second quick shot.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
No, not even.
Quick shot wouldn't do it. I think it's good.
Oh man.
Oh wait, was he that close to winning? Without the heal bot, did he have it?
Yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah, the second heal bot.
Oh man, that heal bot must have been the worst. But I mean, you can still do it, right? You go ahead and you start trading away.
Face Hunter, I've never seen Face Hunter trade this much.
Yeah.
I mean, he can trade everything again.
He's forsaken.
He dies.
Yeah.
And he knows he's dead to Hellfire.
Oh my god.
Or
He's forsaken.
Unless he trades everything. I mean, he can get another explosive trap, so he can set that up to like 1 and.
Yeah. You put like the giant on 1 health, and you put the heal bot to 0 with your Wolf Rider, and then you just go face with your 1 hound. The crazy plays.
So much streak. Kill 2 giants.
This is so ridiculous. I don't even know what to say.
How often do you kill 2 giants as a face hunter like this? Oh my goodness.
It's giving him kind of a chance, but not really. Like the long terms of things. Well, one thing to consider is that Handlock doesn't really have much of a hand.
Well, Definitive Argus would kind of be good here, to say the least.
Well, that doesn't do too much.
How much would you kill for a Farseer right now? How about a Voodoo
Defender of Argus would do it. Oh, that's a good.
That's good enough, man. You don't need a Farseer.
That's gonna get the job done.
Didn't you know you could Shadow Flame Giant to deal 8 to face?
That sounds like it would maybe be a little bit broken.
Yeah, it's actually called the Twitch play, where
oh yeah,
the Twitch chat, you know, they've got all those plays they can make, but only the people in that club can come up with those plays and get them done.
I like that hold on the attack. Molten Giant, I mean, in the very worst case scenario, that's misdirection. You don't want to hit your own phase. And also you can get value by killing a minion there. This should wrap it up.
Yeah.
Hellfire will make it relatively close. I mean, it is single digits. Remember, 2 heal bots were played. Goodness gracious.
It was actually really close because he's on 5 now with the Lepronome, so...
Oh, you're right.
This could have been a like a draw. It could have almost been a draw. Like, given a few difference in the way cards were played out, that could have been very close.
Yeah, Frozen is really fighting back there, but with the draw that Trump had, like, I don't think he made any misplays either. And if you get that draw and play it well, I mean, there's not much Face Hunter can do. With double Molten, double heal, but I think he ever had double Sun Furies. And in the end, last Belzer, like, it was quite crazy. The only thing missing was Mortal Coils for the 1 toughness minions.
No, it's kind of an unfortunate, like, it's not really the way Frozen Eyes played it, it's just the way Trump's draw lined up.
Yeah.
Everything was flawless. Against that specific matchup, it couldn't get better.
Trump is done for the day.
That's right. He won 2-0.
2-0. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
good recovery last week.
Now, one thing to point out is that Kibler is yet to play, and Kibler, from what I've been told, is actually the only undefeated player remaining in the entire league. And if he can continue it to week 3, that's highly impressive. And keep in mind that there is going to be a prize rewarded for the person who's performed the best. I think we're not calling it MVP. We're calling it Master of Duels.
So there's a special title. What if Kibler actually had the Dragon Master, Master of Duel, to add to the Brian Kibler from Brian Kibler Gaming? Wouldn't that just be like the ultimate title?
Yeah, close to it at least.
Trump wants it though, because I think according to Yu-Gi-Oh lore, that's what Yugi becomes. He becomes the king of games or something like that.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't watch it.
I watched the Trumpio video and I wasn't digging it until the very end, and I was like,
I didn't understand it. I tried to get it, and I literally until the very end couldn't figure out what was happening. I thought it was somebody on like a mushroom trip or something, just.
It usually involves that, with some other, hallucinogens probably. But the key point of that is that it's just basically parroting another card game, which is kind of what it is. By the way, Deza, you can see in the bottom of your stream, is talking about how his favorite moments are just watching some of the decks that you don't get to normally see in Conquest format, and one of them is classes like Shaman or Priest or Paladin, and in fact. Because we see the lineups how it is today, we'll see all 9 classes effectively spread across the 2 best of 11s.
You're right. We're actually getting covered everything. There's not a single class that doesn't show up in the lineups.
Yeah.
Wow. Is that a first?
For one day of broadcast, I believe we had one, but the Priest in general just gets ignored very often. We've had people, maybe one person bring Priest, and then everyone else did. But it's really funny that we had a Priest mirror of all things.
Yeah.
I think the only thing left is like a mid-range shaman mirror, and that's something that we'll probably never see.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see that.
We're gonna see that anytime soon.
Savich is just saying, you know what, this class is hopeless. We shouldn't be bothering with it. It's just that it's not that it's bad, it's that other things are just so much better, because it's always a matter of relative power, where if you put it in context of a current metagame, there's no way you can play it. I think Patron just punishes it too much, among other things. It's one of the few things, and even though you can get a good Lightning Storm, for 3 damage at the very least with a totem, and you can get that AoE to guarantee a clear on the Patrons, it's not consistent enough. Like the times where you get it done is just not high enough to justify doing.
You need to have that aggressive approach to in form of mech shaman, because with the mid-range thing, there's no way you can keep up with the card draws and survive. Like I don't know. I just think that it's like completely hopeless. That's why shaman is so not doing so well right now. Maybe we get after we get some more shaman cards, maybe class specific cards, something to counter the patrons. It's gonna be a top tier deck again.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll ever see like a stasis deck, playing Mana Wraith and Narrowbar Weblord to stop players from casting their stuff. That seems like something like Shaman could pull off.
Yeah, but those type of effects need to be attached to minions with reasonable bodies for reasonable mana cost. So it's like not too punishing, because like the Weblord, like the 1/4, it feels kind of useless. It has that cool effect, but you can't really justify playing it easily.
Whoa, did I see a Cogmaster on the Druid side?
No, it's a Cogmaster on the Shaman.
Oh, all right. Okay,
Druid
I got very
just has a little bug where it's just trying to get the opening hand under the way. Kibler sees the wrath on the Cogmaster, and I think he's pretty happy about that.
Oh man,
this is. Oh my god!
No,
Keeper gets picked up. Well, then again.
But
it's
now there's a second. And there's a coin flame tongue totem. This is really bad.
Do it. Zabomatic coin flame.
You have to. Kibler, if you don't do that, we are your lifelong fans if you do that.
There was no answer to it. There's no way he can deal with the double Zabomatic. One of those will survive. Like, there's no way a druid can clear both of them.
Innervate Starfall, right? There's like one way. Or like Innervate Blood Mage Wrath.
Coin it! Kibler!
Do it, Kibler!
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, taking
Attaboy.
screenshots right now. This is ridiculous.
Well, Sandstorm can kill one of them.
What?
And
Yeah.
then he's gonna get lava bursted. Is this minion ever gonna get lava bursted? Or is Kibler just punching face with everything he's got for 15? I would like to remind you of how much damage. Oh my.
At this point, like, there's no way he's not going face. He could like Earth Shock and Power Mace, but I think you want to give Earth Shock even.
Earth Shock
for,
Power Mace is down to deploy.
I think you've got face with everything.
It's actually
Keep
good,
that for
man.
taunt.
It's good.
Yeah. This is amazing. Those Zapomatics, man.
Earth Shock? Because how do you get past the taunt?
Yeah, you keep it.
You
Just
lava
Power
burst
Mace
it.
face.
That's what
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah, Power Mace.
You can put him down to 8, so he would have lethal with the Earthshock Lava Burst next turn. Yeah, unless there's an armor up.
Armor up. This is so
does
ridiculous.
he
And then,
armor
and then
up?
Fire
Yeah.
Elemental
Oh,
kills it. And then Fire
Yeah,
Elemental
this-
will finish him off.
It's just no way.
He has to like kill the mech before he hits.
Wait! Wait,
Oh yeah,
he's
that's
alive.
hard. Okay, not over yet.
Could he live?
Crackle. Crackle.
Forgot about that one. But still.
So you lava burst.
The lava
And then-
bursting feels like
And then you
crap,
can't
right?
fire elemental after.
Druid is so low. But he's gonna overload if he Lava Burst this time, so he has to wait for it.
Yeah.
Actually,
No.
how does Druid do
doesn't
this?
help.
But still, what can you do?
You have
Swipe?
to swipe
What?
the
Yeah,
flame
swipe
song and then
helps.
kill
He has a full clear, he's fighting back. Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
No, but
But fire
Kibler was
elemental.
the 9 damage. But then he can heal up with the Ancient of Lore. Could this be the time where Crackle never gets picked up?
No, I mean the Fire Elemental is gonna connect to face next,
Yeah.
right? Unless there's like Doshly into Freeze Sphere, but
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be crazy.
it would have been worse.
Force of Nature.
He has the urge. Oh my god! He can clear that again.
Oh, Kibler. I'm so sorry, Kibler. This Dream
Yeah,
Star
He has
is...
to do it. Force of Nature, because the
Perfect.
lore doesn't really like help. The heal's somewhat wasted. I think the Force of Nature would have been a better play.
But now, he's on 8 health.
Oh my gosh. Fell Reaver.
Oh,
Mech Warper, Fell Reaver, and you do it.
oh yeah.
You have no choice, really. And it's too good to pass. The only weakness you've got
Well,
really is like a
his
BGH for
choice
clear.
could be to lava burst the
5/5.
5/5 and then
Then he can
Like-
drop the Fell Reaver though.
yeah, but you can drop it next turn. I guess. I do like playing Fell Reaver here though. The problem is if he posts Fell Reaver like and he has Big Game Hunter,
Yeah, you're up.
then his game is lost.
I don't think it's lost. Like he can still top deck a Crackle. I think it just play it all out here with the minions.
Yeah, because Lava Burst could be lethal with another Lava Burst or a Crackle at any moment. So it's really just a matter of you finding one of your top decks.
Okay.
There's so many things. You can just go for it. It's like Lava Burst and the minion. That might actually, if then the Fire Elemental gets dealt with, he might not have it anymore.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I really like this line.
And,
I like it too. I'm
and that's it, basically,
it.
right?
Yeah.
That is...
Doshly into
No.
freeze sphere.
Toshly
No.
could freeze.
But it's still not good because that was not the Earthshock. Because he could silence that.
You're right.
freeze.
How about Toshly Taunt?
Toshly Taunt.
No,
would be
Urshock's
pretty
the
sick.
same.
Doshly Taunt.
Yeah,
No,
it's the same
it's still the
crap,
same
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Urshock.
Silence.
Earthshock removes freeze but not taunt. Did you know that?
What about Toshly?
So Earthshock is gone.
Oh,
one of
he
them.
sees one Urshock. Oh, no, Time Rewinder.
Okay. So you time rewinder here to get more information. No, it doesn't even matter because it's Conquest. The deck is gonna be out.
Wow, Kibler keeping up the streak. Fell
I-
Reaver.
What a
No,
start! It was double Zapomatics and the flame thing. Oh my
Well, I
goodness.
think the Wrath on the Cogmaster is what won this game here. Like, it almost wasn't the follow-up as much as it was the Wrath of Sandstorm being used on an inconsequential minion, really. Like, if you look at it from the perspective of how the game developed, that 3-2 was a lot more impactful than the 1-2 that really threatened, what, 3 damage once or something? It's...
Yeah.
I mean, if you also want to get more into it too, I think the real key is that they queued up into Druid, and that's definitely Mech Shaman's best matchup amongst
It
all
is.
by a big margin.
We have the statistics from like the ones that Monk has gotten for us, and I believe Mech Shaman was 11 wins and 2 losses against the Druid. So
It's pretty disgusting.
yeah, it's like one of the most one-sided matchups in overall.
Well, that's kind of how Mech Shaman even originated, because Druid was starting to get really popular. As long as they teched to beat a lot of this is before Patron was really even a thing. This is when Blackrock Mountain was first coming out here. People were really relying upon Druid and whatnot for a while, and so you'd punish them really heavily. Yeah. And Mech Shaman just like shot to the top of ladder very quickly.
It was good against Hunter as well, wasn't it, for a bit?
Sorry, yeah, it's all right. Like with the Valorivas, you can raise the Hunters, okay.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's like I think part of the reason why we don't see that much Mech Shaman anymore is that also that the Druid has faded out. So Druid faded out, then the Mech Shaman kind of followed it there. Yeah. But in a format like this, where there will sometimes be the Druid and maybe some other good matchups too, Mech Shaman is shining once again.
It's the same as, why Mech Mage is also less popular, all these different decks that preyed upon Druid, which is a lot of them nowadays. You have the Warlock decks, the Patron Wards, mid-range Hunters, anything that has Mirror Entity in it. Those kind of things give Druid fits.
Oh, yeah.
And it's starting to become a problem because Value Town's up 3-0. Boys, what if we see the 6-0 sweep dream?
Yeah, it's your dream.
It requires
a reverse sweep.
Yeah, it requires. That's even funnier when you're up 5-0 and you lose 6 in a row.
It's funny unless you're on the losing team.
Yeah, it's funny for everybody in the world except for 3 people.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I like.
But it becomes increasingly more difficult to win to finish out 6-0. The more you win, because the way you can target decks, it's like, well, if Rogue's the last class, then we can just play our most anti-aggro or anti-rogue with aggro Hunter.
Yeah,
it's just going to be extremely difficult, as that there's going to be counters coming, and then it's like the first couple of, or even the few decks are all going to be decks that are favored against it.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so Silent Storm's going with Druid and Dog's going with Rogue, and I'm surprised that they sent out Silent Storm, because if Silent Storm loses this, he's benched. That means Dog is free to queue up Freeze Mage again, and Druid's on the bench, giving him his best chance to sneak a Freeze Mage win. And then you're asking Kibler to win 1 in 6 games with Hunter.
Which seems very likely. And I think this matchup is also like a really cool example of, 2 decks that play for tempo. Like Druid and Rogue both play for tempo. They kind of mirror each other in the way they use Innervate and Prep. Like they want to get that one turn where they suddenly race ahead. The thing is, the Rogue seems to have a lot more flexibility with the way it uses its tools, whereas the Druid is always trying to ramp for the board, and that's what the Rogue is best at denying. So,
I'm going to talk a little bit about this Druid deck that Silent Storm is running. We saw some interesting cards in there that you usually don't see. There was a Toshli in there, and also Violet Teachers. Like, what's up with that? What do you guys think?
I don't mind the Violet Teacher token deck. It allows you to be more aggressive and gives you more board presence. The thing that I don't like it against is Patron.
Oh,
well,
that's a good draw.
Yeah.
Well played. Yeah. You don't like it against Patron.
I don't like it against Patron, but I like it against classes like Hunter, which Hunter will be in the format for sure. So I don't know. I guess I'm kind of mixed on it. For a wide variety, like a huge lineup, I think it's actually okay. I think if for example, in a big Swiss tournament or a big open bracket tournament, everyone will probably gravitate towards like Patron as one of the 3 decks that they bring in a best of 5. Then I'd hate it a lot more. But I think in this it's actually okay.
So I mean, the tokens are pretty threatening with the double roars in the deck. So if you a couple of 1/1s and the Teacher survives, you can push for 8 damage for 3 mana.
Yeah, good point. That's a really good point. So he's not gonna go for the Harrison Jones play on the Deadly Poison. He's gonna wait for a Deadly Poison or Oil to come out. Even if he draws 1 less card, he's still ultimately happier about that.
Yep. I really like just using it there. Just take those 2 extra cards and the tempo. I think that the 2 mana tempo gain is a big deal. I would have played the Harrison there without any hesitation.
Yeah, me too, but we'll see what ends up happening. So Harrison for 1 card.
Here we go. Finally the Harrison.
Yeah, it's still really good.
Yeah, because the Eviscerate was just used, so the Harrison Jones is doing a pretty good work here.
Oh, it is, sure.
Oh, man. Okay. All he's missing is a prep to really turn this into an actual threat.
Here we go. Let's see if the token's gonna get things done. Feature.
They might just.
But it's not. It's still not as sticky as a pilot shredder, really.
Yeah, because it's what it's getting with, really. Yeah.
And he has like a good answer to it too through Lotheb.
Yeah, Lotheb looks like the only play here. There's no way he can do anything else.
This is like my. I don't know. This is like the biggest problem with Rogue nowadays. Is exactly this hand. It's like, well, you have like something to do, but you need like a specific, like you need preparation to make this hand good all of a sudden. So now you're fishing for it, and you know, everything becomes really inconsistent again.
Yeah. Well, like I think it's the biggest card for the deck.
Oh, it's not going for the Lotheb. That's interesting.
Okay, Harrison's gone. So.
Oh my god. He is setting up the biggest Blade Flurry of all time.
No, I think I saw the biggest Blade Flurry of all time last week, where 6-0 had, I want to say, 11 damage weapon against Eloise. And it was like insane the amount of damage it was able to do.
So is that going to be game next turn? Just on the basis of that Force of Nature Savage War? Like, how much damage does he have here?
He can push, how much is it? 11.
10. Right? He's got
11
like,
hero power.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with the hero power. Wow.
So he's going to be close to winning, and Dog's still going to wipe the board. He's going to be like 1 off lethal. So Dog's going to have to find the heal bot right now. Like, there is no question. That's or he Lothebs and he goes for a backstab flurry after that pickup. I guess it's fine too.
But still, like, how does Jock come back from this? He needs to find those heals. He needs to find them quick. He's gonna get one turn here to creep, but
I think he could still do it if he gets the initiative on pushing for damage in any way.
Yeah.
It's just that really is though dependent upon it really is dependent upon drawing the heal though, because his opponent will put him down to 14 no matter what this turn.
Well, you keep her the girl face, I guess. Yeah.
I think you gotta set it up. You gotta set up the combo to be lethal.
Shadow Step Lotheb.
Just like
that'd be amazing, but I don't think it's in there.
How much damage is this?
14.
5.
It's quite a bit, but not enough.
11. If he had Flurry, that's lethal.
Yeah, he's just missing that one card. Actually,
or Eviscerate, he would have.
He'd be 1 man off lethal, right? No. Yeah, he'd still be a little short. Wait, what? Oh.
He's clearing.
Cool. Yeah. So this is a patron druid? I can't be the only one seeing this hand, can I?
Oh yeah. Wait, whoa. I was confused. I was looking at the rogue hand for a second. We just got.
Okay.
Looks like we went into the wrong game, fellas.
The combo already looked bad enough, but that was like next hell.
Yeah. All right. So Force of Nature Savage War will end this game here, and Drew is able to sneak a win. The 6-0 Dream is dead. More importantly, Team Celestial is on the board, and on the void.
That was a really sick draw, though, for the Druid player. Everything seemed to just flow naturally.
Yeah. Everything really lined up there, and well done there. It was also important because if he lost that game, there was that bench rule, which would have then locked out Silent Storm. So that makes it even more important that they got that one out of the way. And one more thing about it, it was the Druid. Like, Druid has been struggling in every single week, and we have seen Druid struggle for somebody. So it's not going to be the case for them this time.
Yeah, Savitz knows. Savitz has also been on the receiving end of Druid a little bit.
Last week.
And I think, like I was saying too, tactically, it was really important that Silent Storm kept alive, because I'm pretty sure Dog would bring something like Freeze Mage again. And if the Druid's on the bench and the Freeze Mage comes out here and you're like one of its best matchups is gone. So how do you fight back against that if you're down 5-0? Yeah. In this case, though, a new opportunity has been opened up for Team Celestial. Now everything's available. You're up against Hunter, Rogue, and Mage. And I think now that Druid's out of the way, though, Dog might just go ahead and queue up Freeze Mage, because Druid's out of the way anyways, so might as well just go.
Frozen Eyes might play a Zoo deck. Like, he's a very aggressive player, and that's definitely something you'd pin him on. If he brings out his Face Hunter, I mean, Freeze Mage is not bad, depending on how the Ice Bears line up. So, I mean, I'm sorry you're not getting a 6-0, but
I would have to say Warrior probably comes out here from Tiddler.
Yeah.
Another thing to consider there is that if they do go with Dog again and he loses, he's going to be benched, and then Keebler is forced to play his remaining deck, and then Team Celestial would be able to just pick the best counters to it because they know exactly what's coming. Yep. So they might be still mixing it up here and just let Keebler play.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. If Dog plays Freeze Mage, they put him on it. Let's say Tiddler plays Warrior and is able to, eliminate that. And then Kibler's first play Hunter, then you have Tempo Mage by some reason, and you have that against Hunter. Like, these kind of decisions end up snowballing, and then you tie up the series or even take the lead while putting your opponents in a really bad momentum.
Yeah, some people were saying the bench rule wasn't really impactful, but I think it's impactful in those situations where you've got a player who sealed up his wins very fast, like Trump did, and then suddenly you're down to 2 people with decks that you already kind of know what they're going to be, and then you can line them up really easily, just execute them one at a time.
Personally, I really like the rule. I think it's really cool to have, and it makes it more exciting. It puts so much more mind games into it. Like here, for example, if Team Celestial thinks that they're going to play Keebler because of the bench thing, then they pick the best deck against Keebler. But if they think the next level that they're, it's just like, I don't know, man. That's random.
Who thinks what? So basically, they're just gonna both put out Hunter. They're like, you know what? We're gonna brute force this as much as we can. But if Keebler's playing a slower version, I think Frozen Ice's Face Hunter gets quite an edge.
Oh yeah, usually the faster Hunter has been favored in it is.
Yeah.
But anything can happen. A good Houndmaster taunt, for example, can be difficult at times if there's no owl. And yeah, it can go either way. Like, who gets the mad scientists early on and stuff.
But I think they're kind of interesting matchups though. Like as far as Hunter matchups go. Because as boring as Face Hunter might be, I think it becomes super interesting when you're facing it off against a mid-range or a hybrid. Because then playing around traps becomes really compelling to look at.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Keebler's playing the double Lepronome opener deck as well. So it turns out it's gonna be.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's going first too.
Yeah.
That's what's really nice because Lepronome's guaranteed to do good damage unless your opponent has like on a creeper. Mad Scientist also is okay.
Yep. But still, like, Keebler's hand looks a lot better.
I would agree.
The first Unleash the Hounds is pretty good in this matchup sometimes if it gets out of control, but the second is often pretty awkward if you have it early on.
It's a bit situational, and sometimes you don't get to cast even one good, and if there's no opportunity to unleash the Hounds, then you just have 2 dead cards in your hand.
Not to mention that Frozen Ice also has a trap in the Scientist already, so...
Yeah, the trap also bad, because he's gonna get a trap from that, so it's gonna be 2 explosives.
Does he play a snake trap? And he could actually try to get it right away from the juggler?
Well, we've seen this deck, and I feel like we've seen every possibility of it because he had the Scientists and the traps. But if it is a snake trap, I'd be really surprised.
He played it against Trump's handlock, and he didn't go for a priest.
Oh, man.
Has to be only explosives then.
What a pickup, man. That's nuts. I can get some value.
There's the explosive trap.
Right, there's the explosive trap.
Yeah, but you can just hold it, can't you?
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, you're still going to be able to trade. Yeah, you're going to get the initiative on trading. So again, that's a really big factor. So I guess just for that, it's worth it. Because you're going to lose the juggler anyway. But
yeah, he can still trade those for whatever Frozen Ice plays here, which allows him to do an empty boarded Pilot Destroyer.
Right.
Sviz, do you like the hold on the Lepronome?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it would be 3 damage basically if he played it here. I'm not sure. It's a close call. It's easy to play later for a quick shot, so it's not a problem to not play it. It's a really close call.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just playing with the
Keebler has to know that his opponent's got something.
What about the follow-up play? Do you prop the trap before you play Shredder?
Yeah, you kind of have to. I'd imagine.
I mean, you're still not obligated to by any means.
Because you'd be able to get like 1 extra knife for the race.
Well, I mean, you keep trading on for whatever's on the board, effectively. But I think he knows this is the Face Hunter, so he recognizes this as an opportunity for him to seize it. And having a lot of 1/1s surprisingly is helpful against the Face Hunter because there's a lot of annoying, like, say if Wolf Rider was played here, Then you'd have to use Unleash the Hounds in order to get it.
Yeah.
So Kibler being a gentleman and just greeting that Huffer.
Yeah. Huffer gonna do a lot of damage. He has his own animal companion, and he also has his own Unleash to be able to answer as well.
What to do?
Thing about it is that you have to really just get ahead of the other hunter player, whether on board or on damage count. If you can get significant in one area, then like this early on, you can definitely continue to push for the victory.
Yeah, and the thing is, the high main that Kibler plays is an indication that he's probably playing a hybrid variant with a double Evernome. So it's a bit on the slower end, but he got a really good start against a Phase Hunter.
All right, looks like our video is actually stalled for a second, so just bear with us. We can't actually keep up with what's going on. I'm gonna rejoin the call real quick.
No, it's the screen sharing.
Oh, okay, it's screen share. We don't know what's going on. Like before, like now we can kind of anticipate it, but Hunter's so fast.
Thing is going for face.
Ah, he's hero powering. Oh man. Looks like all three of us can't see the screen right now. That's a little bit unfortunate. Either way, I guess we're gonna have to just rejoin the call real quick.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
All right, and looks like I am just gonna hop directly into this. So it looks like we have Frozen Ice here. He's just... Oh no, he replayed his second explosive trap, and then Kilber's now going to play his high main. That's a pretty dominant position, considering that he has kill command already.
Oh yeah. Even spell power for it, so he can deal 6. But on the life totals, Frozen Ice is ahead quite a bit.
So, could Frozen Ice be able to push for enough damage? Because the kill command is going to enable, like, I wonder if the Kobold Geomancer is going to be instrumental in winning this in any way, shape, or form. Just because of the extra damage it generates.
It'd be hilarious if it ended up like deciding the game with the spell power.
So he almost wants, I guess at this point he wants Misha. Although, what would Huffer do? So Huffer would give you 4, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he'd still not be quite on lethal, and you couldn't justify that. So I guess Misha is still ultimately what he's looking for.
Yeah.
It's not a bad draw.
It's a good one, yeah. I agree. You can weave it in with your hero power quite nicely.
Misha
we got it! Wow.
Wow.
And if he wants to play around second Unleash, he should kill off the 2-1 with his 2-2.
Yeah. It's a tough call to make, though. How much he has to think about how to set up lethal for next turn. So getting those 2 extra to face might be a difference. So high main goes face and hero power, so that's 8. He can put him down to 15. With the kill command hero power, he has 7. So
if the high main survives with another minion,
it has to survive with another minion if he makes the trade here. But it will, like the chances are high. But the trade would be better in this situation. But he obviously doesn't have access to the same information as we do.
So the trade, I mean, he kind of has to make the trade either way, just because of the possibility of the owl would also make this a bit awkward in the circumstance where he's got a bit more damage. Wow. I
think that's it. Like, Kibler's gonna take it, because that's not enough to clear those minions, and the killer command is gonna be able to finish things off.
So the hybrid hunter is gonna take it over the face hunter.
And Kibler going 6-0.
Yeah.
Oh man, undefeated Kibler, what's up?
Still undefeated.
This is crazy. Yeah. He's played Shaman twice, and he hasn't lost a single game with it. Surely that says something.
As well. He's actually just sticking to his guns and allowing his specialties to really carry him through. But another story, too, that's coming here is another struggling day for Frozen Ice. At best, he can go even score. And this is just Team Celestial still struggling here, as 4-1 is the current count in favor of Value Town.
Based on the score, it looks like I think Frozen Ice has been the player was like, I know Tiller had a really awkward first week, but I think Frozen Ice has had a tougher time over the course of the 3 weeks. And based on today, it looks like the trend is continuing. So it's not, he's got to feel a little awkward about it, but because again, you know, this is a team league, so I mean, Savit should probably felt like that. You know, when you feel like the weak link, it sucks. Like it's not that you are; it's
really
just that it feels like that.
Because when you like lose a tournament where you're just playing for yourself, it feels bad, obviously. But when you play in a team league and you do bad, you feel bad for yourself and you feel bad for the other people. So it's like 3 times the feels bad. Yeah.
Well, hopefully he can equalize the score here. He's got a Hunter to win with and the Warlock. So I mean, he just has to win once with both of them to get even and maybe get himself and his team out of this little awkward of a spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen Dietler play yet, have we?
Nope, and he's got to win with both his decks as well. I mean, I think Dog is the only player who has to win on Value Town's side, so the benching rule doesn't apply to them anymore, but he's got to win 2 more games. And I think against the entire lineup that he's going to be facing, I mean, if it's Freeze Mage, the Paladin should be bearable, and the Rogue should also...
Yeah, like both Jock's decks are amazing against Silent Storm's Paladin.
Exactly. But even if it comes down to it, it might be... even if they climb back on, it might be a struggle just to beat that one lineup from Dog.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Warrior here. Like it should be doing fine against both of those.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Warrior come out too. It's important that Tiddler be able to come out here. Hypothetically speaking, if Frozen Ice played again and lost, and then he got benched and Silence could play again, then Tiddler could go throughout the entire day not playing a single game, which would be really unfortunate.
Yeah, but his score wouldn't get any worse than it is.
Yeah, I guess that's the silver lining. Wow. Talk about a silver lining right there, Savis. I've never heard anything as depressing. That is some next level stuff right there.
But yeah, I would expect to see Diddler Warrior here. I'm gonna call it Diddler Warrior. It's happening.
You think Rogue? I guess the Freeze Mage matchup makes up for the fact that Rogue is kind of good. I mean, I think Rogue is really good against Patron, but
I wouldn't mind Frozen Ice playing Hunter again either.
Yeah.
I think Hunter would be great in a spot like this.
All right.
I mean,
actually, face Hunter against Freeze Mage is not.
Yeah, against Freeze Mage, it depends a bit. Like, is there a heal bot, for example, and how do the starting hands line up? But I would favor the Freeze Mage for sure. Like even without a heal bot, I would favor it. But if there's a heal bot, that makes it way better than it already is.
It's just because I feel like Warriors have gotten much better at playing. Or sorry, excuse me, the other way around. I feel like Rogues have gotten much better at playing against Patron Warrior than they did a month ago. So I feel like you know they have better tools. They know how to time their flurries. They know what to save for. Now the unstable ghouls have become more popular. It's like they understand the capabilities and whatnot. So I think it's really good that Rogue's been able to put on pressure too, because Warriors have gotten a little bit greedier. Like they don't have Gromosh and Dr. Boom anymore. That like really gave Rogue a hard time.
Oh yeah.
But nowadays it's more like, you know, the no mission venters and stuff, and Rogues can deal with those pretty easily.
Yeah, that's a big deal. It's I hadn't even thought about it that way, but Dr. Boom used to be an auto include at some point in Patron, and everybody who has played Rogue knows how painful Dr. Boom is to deal with.
Yeah, that and Ragnaros,
it feels so bad when any class plays it against you. Like, what do? You sap, and then the Boom bots still kill all your stuff.
Yeah.
Then they play it again. Then there's more Boom bots. But if you soak 7 damage on it, how do you win? And the Boom bots still kill your stuff. Yeah. So it's like, it feels so bad. But now without it, it's a little bit more doable. But I still tend to favor the Warrior a little bit because of the way that how efficiently the weapons can remove all the rogue minions and sometimes get those amazing card draws with all the battle rages and like the armor smiths and everything. I don't know.
I can get behind that for sure.
It divides opinions. I think Neyria has been talking about it a lot, that he thinks that Rogue beats it and he plays Rogue really well. So I believe him on that. But if I was playing it the Rogue, I would probably lose. So I haven't played Rogue that much lately. Yes! I called it!
Good job, man.
So Savis here with the calls is like super happy. I guess when you have to narrow it down to like one deck from both sides, or one side has like 5 decks to pick from, the call is actually really good. So nicely done, sir.
Warrior. And we can see the exact matchup that we were just talking about. It. How cool is that? We didn't know when we started talking about it.
Yeah. Let's see how. I mean, Dog's one of the there's a few players who I'd venture to say are like excellent at playing Rogue, and Dog's amongst those few. So it's kind of nice to play that deck.
I think Rogue is one of the decks with the highest skill cap, so to say.
Yeah,
because so
maybe
many
skill
decks
floor even.
Yeah, like the most difficult part, in my opinion, is to know when to go aggressive, when to go for that oil and go for face, when to prep offensively. Like the transitioning from like board control to the aggression mode is like. But I always can't figure it out exactly when I'm playing rogue.
Yeah, I think Hunter kind of operates the same way, where they can be like aggro control in a way. The thing is, the fact that Rogue has so many, zero cost spells makes it so you really get to dictate when to switch on the aggression, and that's the trickiest part of it. Like, it doesn't play itself.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
All right, first teacher coming out. Well,
That's a really good card right
worse.
now.
That's kind of compared to Piloted Shredder. It's not that great. Piloted Shredder would have worked out so much better. I wonder if he's playing 2 teachers and 2 shredders, or just.
Wow.
Oh, that's a good pickup.
Yeah. I mean, those 2 poor teachers aren't doing much, and the worst part is, if the Emperor Thorsten falls down, like what does Dog have to really deal with it at the moment?
One piece. I mean, it's like backstab oil, not something. Oh, that's also a good draw. He can attack and execute that teacher. I would expect to see the execute here. There's no way he can let it live with no whirlwind effects in his hand.
Yeah, I think Dog's gonna have to pick up Deadly Poison to do anything here. I mean, the Tinker Sharp Sword is really nice, but it might not be enough. And now the thing is, if Lotheb is played for tempo, the Emperor Thorsten kind of doesn't care. It kind of just says, I'm getting my effect off, and I'll do whatever I want later.
Yeah, doesn't do anything. Like, he's not casting any spells anyway. So, in this trade-off, basically Dog got a useless battle cry, and Fiddler is going to get a 1 mana discount on all of his things.
Yeah, I really like I really love Lotheb against Patron Warrior. I think it's one of the most underestimated tech cards against that deck, because you would think that it doesn't affect them as much as it does other classes, but very often I found it to be the case that you can slow them down just enough that you can get, you buy yourself enough time that you can get the win just because you play Lotheb.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I think Lotheb has been making somewhat a comeback. Like, it faded out a little bit. It's always been played in some decks, but right now at least to me, it feels like it really fits everywhere. It's so good. Even against Hunter, you can buy an extra turn where they can't kill command. It just it buys so much time. It works against all the combo decks. It works against Freeze. It's like the best card against Freeze. It's even good against Handlock. They can't AoE. It's good against Rogue. It's just good against everything, and it's a 5/5 for 5, even if the effect isn't useful in some situation.
Yeah. Well, the argument of the 5/5 for 5 is a good one.
Ugh.
No
Look
sprint.
at that hand. This is where he was supposed to sprint. But where is it?
Well, I guess it's waiting for your opponents to play patrons, so then you kind of want to sprint, and then it's too late.
Yeah, on the flip side, his opponent hasn't exactly been drawing a lot of cards either. Oh, that's pretty helpful.
That's a good pickup, yeah.
Yeah, but before that, his hand was looking rather thin.
That's true. Like, he didn't have that much either. He does have the battle rage, but he also needs to enable it somehow to get good value.
I don't think that's gonna be too hard to do. It's just
No.
he could wait. He could really just wait 1 turn and do it with the patrons if he feels like it. He's got a lot of ways to flood the board, but when you can get that many patrons with a Warsong Commander, you're better off waiting for it.
This is like a joke. Compare this to draw to the one that Dog had last game with the double sprint. Now sprint would be the exact card that he would need. Like, the last time his hand's mana cost was like 30 with 8 card draw.
Yeah.
And now it's like total 10 and no card draw. Okay.
Hearthstone. I don't even know what
just kind of has. It's just what happens with draws, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In this
I mean,
case.
it's a card game. It can happen. It's so unfortunate picking up 2 sprints last time and no sprint this time.
Do you think you just eliminate this and just play something on board, or?
I don't even know. I guess he's going for oil and then like agent in face, or I don't even.
Yeah.
Or you could agent first. This is so hard.
You can still do
None of
it with
his
deadly
plays are
poison.
too good.
I'd probably agent first. If I'm gonna play agent here, I'd probably agent first.
Well, you can still get the battle cry. It's fine.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, you could buff it.
Yeah,
You can make it
might
a
have been worth it. Yeah, because the comparison is between getting 3 extra attack on the SI or getting 2 damage to face directly. It might have been better.
Rest in peace.
Can he play his entire hand?
Actually, is he just dead? He's got 10 damage with 2 patrons and then an extra billion patrons spawning. I think he's just dead, man.
It's gonna be 6 patrons, right?
Yeah,
he's dead. There's 6 patrons, 2 of them deal 5 damage, 4 of them deal 3, so that's exactly lethal.
Exactly lethal, yeah. It's exactly lethal. Yeah, that's,
oh my god, if he's gonna miss it again.
If he misses it, I am going to create a fun... I'm gonna create a GoFundMe page for Tiddler.
Yeah.
Well,
he should be able to though, right?
Yeah, I think he's got to. He's got to.
It's just worth counting because if you mess it up, then
Just the rope.
Well,
oh my god, the rope
from a different region.
The rope, man.
That's true. That might be an issue because he is playing from China.
Has he increased his APM since the last time we saw him?
Oh my god, guys, the rope is going faster than I thought. No, come on.
His face.
I'm going to look at the facial impressions if he got it or not.
I think he got them all. He increased his APM like between the last game and this.
There it is.
All right, the Tiddler APM is catching up, and Dog's gonna lose this one to a patron. I mean, that was a really good turn for Tiddler. It's just kind of the god patron turn. Because very often I find you don't kill them with patrons. You kind of try to whittle them down, but you don't get the kill right away.
Yeah, that's pretty rare to see like that. Frothing combos are much more like common.
Yeah, Frothing Warrior, not Patron Warrior.
Yeah. The typical Warzone Warrior, I think. That's like the key card, let's be real. Like, I think Warzone Commander is the core, because without it, like, none of those combos are really possible. Like, you need to first... Because without the Warzone, you have to first put your minions on the board, and then attack with them, but they're not gonna live for a turn, like, no way.
Yeah, I think Razor called it Math Warrior back in the day, because you're counting a lot.
Yeah, you're counting a lot of little one. Like I think Naria came up with like the first super effective combo deck, where like you really, I don't know if you came up with it or if you popularized it by playing it in tournaments, but like the Worgen deck was basically the only combo warrior, and then it kind of just didn't see any play forever. And now that Patron's coming back, somehow Worgen is also coming back sometimes. I've seen a few people play that. And it's been very, very surprising to people who end up facing it, because they play around Patrons, but not the OTKs.
Yeah, it's one of those decks that if you ladder and you're not streaming, you might be able to catch your opponents off guard. And I think it's completely viable. Maybe not top tier, but the surprise factor from that Worgen Warrior can be enough to win games just because of your opponent's lack of knowledge.
Yeah. All right, well, Dog's got to pick up 2 more wins here. There's four decks for Tiddler Celestial, Team Celestial to win Tiddler, of course. I just don't know what they're going to queue into this. I don't really like...
Well, I don't mind the Hunter. I think the Hunter here is fine.
Yeah, I would like to see the Hunter. That does fairly alright against both.
Then it starts getting hard. Then you have to... the ultimate question is, can the Paladin win versus these classes?
Yeah, it's tough.
But then you also have things like, if Frozen Ice is playing Zoo, is that going to get shut down by the Freeze Mage? Or if it's Handlock, will Dog find a way to kill it with Rogue? Or even what does Tiddler bring with his mage too? Tiddler's a guy that's innovated mage a lot in the Chinese region. Like he's brought aggro mage a few times and really done some weird stuff with it. Or tempo mage before tempo mage really became a thing. He was playing like Frost Nova with aggressive stuff. It was like really weird back in the day. Mad Bomb.
The ice blocks and Leper Gnome and the Pyroblast in the same
day. It was really funky, but. It ended up working for him and winning a couple of really high profile matches. Can't really say what's for sure this time around.
But I wonder if he'll bring out like if it's a freeze mage or a tempo mage from Tiddler. That's the one thing I'm kind of curious about, because it looks like I've seen him play mostly aggressive decks a long time ago, but I know he's a lot more diverse about the way that he plays now.
Yeah, for his sake, I hope it's a freeze mage, because of the way that tempo mage struggles against Dog's freeze mage. I'm gonna call it Dog is playing freeze mage. I feel certain about it, because the tempo mage, just having those mirror entities in the deck, it's such a liability against Doomsayer.
Yeah, I think freeze mage is probably one of the best matchups. Even Echo Mage is one of the best matchups against freeze mage. Actually, we're gonna get to see that. It's a mirror match with the mages here, so we'll see exactly what those players are playing. I'm a little curious about the value of Tempo Mage very often. It's kind of hard to play when everybody's playing freeze.
I think that deck, I haven't played it that much, but I think the version with mirror images and everything, which is the kind of the standard, does quite alright against patrons because of the way that the mirror images work against weapons. It's like the worst feeling ever when you're playing the warrior and you're hitting 0-2 taunts with your death spite.
Yeah, it's like playing a shaman, but except he's getting stone claws all the time, and then you can't get to the actual minions that you want to get rid of.
Yeah, and usually they've been casted for 0 mana with a Sorcerer's Apprentice, so it's it's really ridiculous.
All right, so Dog's currently making his deck. All right, I guess he didn't have it built.
Yeah, I guess figuring out to optimize it. While we have a quick second, guys, we also want to go ahead and remind you that to hashtag HTLC and let us know some of your predictions. I know a lot of people are cheering for Team Value Town because they have a lot of fan favorites, but Team Celestial is kind of like an admirable project in a way because Tiddler saw what Amaz and Reynad were doing, and he even cites in his interviews that he just wanted to create another like team-centric or player-centric team that's dedicated to Hearthstone and not just like another spin-off of a large organization that it gives him more of like a homey feeling because in China there's no teams like that at all. It's all like Vici Gaming or IG or DK and all this other stuff. Tiddler wants to be one of those teams to be able to establish a Hearthstone franchise within the Chinese region. And I think it's really cool that he's embarking on that kind of journey because it's very hard. So go ahead and show your support when you can.
Yeah, I think it's really awesome to have their team in the league too. It really spices things up because they have the meta is different at Asia. I'm sure that they at least watch a little bit of streams and like keep up with the Western meta. But the Asian ladder and the innovations might be different at least on some classes.
You've got a larger player pool also to draw from, I think. So you're bound to see something crop up that sometimes maybe a smaller player pool would see. The thing is, like, as much as it might seem weird to say so to somebody who's played, real card games, the metagame in Hearthstone switches so fast because of the way new decks are come up with so quickly. Like the information gets disseminated really fast, and so whenever a streamer, let's say, or a pro player in a tournament event ends up, piloting a deck to great success, it kind of becomes a fad for a while. Like you'll see it crop up all over the place, and it affects the metagame inevitably. Very, very quickly, you see people like one person can make a huge impression on the meta. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's right. And then when that deck gets more popular, then the other thing starts being more. Oh my goodness! Look at this.
Well.
All right.
Wait, who's playing what?
I think I'm gonna say Dog's playing Freeze, man.
I mean, that would be my guess, but.
I feel like Dog would be playing Freeze Mage.
All the time.
It's very out of character for him to play Tempo Mage.
Oh yeah, the Dog is the Freeze. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Tiddler with that. Oh, he has a fast start.
Yeah, he's got a pretty decent start. Maybe not. Oh, yeah. The thing is, the Doomsayer makes all of this irrelevant. It's kind of like he's got a fast start, but oh wait, Entity, and it doesn't matter anymore. Like it's
the scientist is just so bad.
Yeah, Amaz was playing. He was playing. I think in the Star Ladder, he was playing a Tempo Mage, if I'm not mistaken. And that ended up being its downfall because basically anytime he ended up playing it and it was a Doomsayer in the lineup, that was it. Like the game was over.
Well, it's such a disaster with that Doomsayer.
Whoa, 50-50.
Oh, he got it. Yeah, saving the coin for.
I remember when there was an argument over whether or not it was a 50-50. Like early in Hearthstone life. We got like this huge question
or whatever. I don't know. Like,
Trump it still has an emote over it, like 3 out of 7. But it's 50-50. But like the flaw in the logic was that the missiles might sometimes like how was that they can hit their face basically like more times or something. I can't remember anymore. But it was like whether it's 50-50 or 3 out of 7. Like, that was like the argument thing. I can't exactly remember. Oh, what a pick up there with the Dark Intellect. But he's not casting. Oh, he's casting. I would expect him to.
Yeah, he kind of has to.
If he didn't.
I actually expected him to do that first, right? To draw first, but.
Yeah. Was there any real reason to play the the scientist first. Like, why would you?
No, he's already tested for secrets, and he's already gotten a strong inclination that this is tempo or this is freeze mage, excuse me.
Yeah. All right. Quite a. Oh wow. Well, that's
no, it's not the best
so exciting
to do because of Doomsayer. Like when Mirror Enemy is a possibility, Doomsayer becomes such a powerful card against his deck.
Maybe he plays one counter spell that might. Oh wow! What a pickup! Now he has enough turn in his hand. He can ignore ice barriers at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to worry about
wow, that was a huge draw.
Healbot, and that is like Healbot is basically the card he's looking for.
That might be game right there. He got enough damage in early.
And it is a counter
spell. He can dog down to 1, and there won't be necessarily enough time for the Alexstrasza. He doesn't even have it in his hand yet. It might come down to whether or not dog plays a Healbot.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to assume he kind of does very frequently. It's kind of what I expect from Freeze Mage nowadays, because it gives you like 24 extra health between the ice barriers and the Healbot. And the worst part is Dr. Boom is actually a problem because you can't wipe it off the board at all. Like, it's better than pinging next turn.
Yeah.
Like, it's... this is hell.
No, yeah, I wouldn't say it's better than pinging.
No.
I don't think it's necessarily better than pinging, because pinging allows you to pop the block, and otherwise you
Well, actually, you play Dr. Boom, you win, man. That's it. Game over.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's game, right?
The game is done.
That is game. Okay, I agree with you. Playing the Dr. Boom is better than... No, it's not. Because Doomsayer. Get the copy.
No.
Get the copy.
What the hell is this hand? I don't even know what to say.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So even if you heal bot here, you're almost dead.
You need some ice block into Alexstrasza now.
Yep. I don't think that does it. He has
one more draw. One more draw.
Yeah.
One more draw. Commit Sudoku with that Frostbolt.
Even if he plays the heal, but he won't have enough mana to do it anymore.
And he's gonna commit Sudoku with the Frostbolt. No, he's not. Okay. He's triggering the counterspell.
Oh, he couldn't play
not
ice
even.
No, not even.
I don't even know what to say. This is probably the most unexpected win out of this entire. For me, it's close to the most. I guess Paladin would be more unexpected, but not by much.
It's justified, you know, because Tidler struggled a lot the first couple of weeks, but now today he went a decisive 2-0 and puts his team back into contention of the series. It's 4-3 now. It's not as one-sided as it was just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, and Dog's still on the ropes.
Really, wow. I mean, the draw was kind of incredible. He got so much value out of the first Sorcerer's Apprentice. Those early minions managed to deal enough damage so that those double Fireball Frostbolt to follow it up, it was enough. Because he never triggered even one Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier is one of those key cards to stall. And having dealt enough before any barriers just didn't matter anymore. There's no life gain, and Alexstrasza too late.
I mean, he would have had to draw really perfectly to get anything done. Because again, that counterspell that came from the Mad Scientist, I mean, that explains why Tidler ended up playing his Mirror Entity from hand to guarantee that he could get something to deny his opponent the ability to swing back in the game. I mean, I'm just surprised at how convincing the Tempo Mage win was, because I rarely ever see that kind of stuff happen to Freeze Mage.
Well, I mean, it's kind of the victim of whatever Savis was talking about, the draws there, the burn being able to get past the ice barrier, but he didn't even have ice barriers, so there's one of those things where you also... Freeze Mage is one of the most consistent decks because it draws really early, and there's so many ways for you to stop the pressure. But in this case, it wasn't even like significant pressure where he needed to drop Frost Nova early. He felt like he could take his time, and then his opponent just happened to draw into 15 points of damage, you know?
Yeah, and on the other hand, like, he also had the Dr. Boom. He had a Ragnaros, so if he didn't have that burn, I kind of feel like he might have been able to grind it out just with the Rag too, like, still, even if he couldn't do it so fast.
Yeah, it's such a problem, because very often Freeze Mage does a run polymorph, and they really have very few ways to handle a Ragnaros. But, you know, we're talking about this, but it still will or possibly might come down to this Paladin from Soundstorm. Like, they have to play for tiebreaker at the very least. Like, they really want to get those points, but...
I mean, the series is still very much alive. It's 4-3 is still anyone's game. It's like winning the first and the best of 5 from that point on. Hunter and Warlock coming out here for Frozen Ice would be excellent, and then you just give Paladin as much chances as possible. This could easily turn the other way around. Even though you might feel like Team Celestial could be playing for tiebreakers, they're also playing to win, and I think that's the approach you have to have.
Yeah, that's what they really need to do.
Yeah.
Never give in.
Yeah, I think that the rogue can be doable with the paladin, but can he beat the mage? Well, he can beat the mage with something else. No, wait,
I mean, it depends here how this is gonna how this matchup will go, because very often I'd expect freeze mage to take it over face hunter, but we've seen upsets. It has happened before, so there's definitely a possibility Frozen Eyes locks down another win for his team.
Dog is very experienced with the freeze mage, so and he knows that it's a face hunter. So if he adjusts his play accordingly, just basically to remove every minion, not necessarily to be mana efficient, just keep removing the minions. The face hunter doesn't have much sustained damage. And against mid range, for example, if there's a leper gnome on the board and you have 3 mana, you usually want to go for the Arcane Intellect. But against the face hunter, what you do is use this ping. You kill all the minions, you frostbolt, you fireball them, you just like. You kill the minions and they won't have much. They have more burn and removal than they have minions. So I would expect Doc to take this down.
All right. Well, we'll see if it ends up being that case. We've been seeing some matchups, even though it favors one person, the person that normally has the dominant percentage advantage ends up getting robbed because of a few awkward things of draws. Maybe the RNG pans out their way. I'm not sure though, because Dog has a pretty nice opening hand this time around, and we'll see if Frozen Ice can follow up with his own aggressive line of play too.
Yeah, it doesn't pick up a leper gnome though, so.
Yeah, no leper gnome. So,
It's already slower than he wanted to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if we find out.
Like it's turn 1, it's already slower than he wants it to be. Like the game is too slow because he doesn't have a 1-drop.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if we coin out Scientist here. Like, quite often you don't want to do that, but it trades for whatever. Like he can deal with a juggler now. He can trade it with a Scientist.
Everything that's played is very cautious.
Yeah. So many weapons for Frozen Eyes.
Yeah, 2 weapons, 2 scientists, and traps. How effective are they really against Freeze Mage?
Just late game when they don't do anything until like he drops Alex and tries to kill you. But then very often nowadays they don't attack with Alex; they just kill from the hand. A long time ago, it used to be the case that people would actually attack you with Alex, but that just doesn't happen anymore for some reason.
Oh wow, that's a good card to get.
Yep.
Ice Barrier is a key card in this matchup.
Even to the point where people keep Ice Barrier in the hand if they get it against Face Hunter. I know 6-0 was like one time coaching me about it. He's like, no, you should keep Ice Barrier for sure against Hunter.
Yeah. I keep it every single time, knowing it's a Face Hunter. If I just queue up into a Hunter on ladder, and I think that it might be maybe mid-range, then it's not that good. But when you have access to the information that it is guaranteed Face Hunter, I personally believe strongly that it is correct to keep the barrier.
Yeah, and you picked up the second one from the Mad Scientist as well. That is a really... It's better than Ice Block here.
Like, how is the Face Hunter gonna deal that much damage?
I don't know. Like, there's already 16 extra health to go through, just based on what he's found. And that doesn't account for a possible Healbot or Alex later in the game, so... We'll see how this develops.
Oh, horrible draw. That's so bad.
Yeah, that's a dead draw.
Start into deck. Makes the Scientist, the second Scientist dead. Like, he can then play it, and the second Scientist won't pull out anything.
More life gain being pushed out too. Scientist trying to see if he can add some damage onto the board, but it seems like Dog should be able to stabilize relatively easily here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, this is the Frostbolt turn for sure. Like you just starve the Hunter on resources. There's no reason to really like go for a big Doomsayer Frost Nova or anything. Just don't take that extra 4 damage or whatever from the Scientist, from the Juggler.
What's also pretty amusing too is that Owl is usually very good against Freeze Mage to silence it, but most of the damage that you want to do is rarely repetitive damage, because Freeze Mage, as soon as you attack it once, it should be able to deal with your board, and nothing will really survive a Blizzard. The Frost Nova might be useful, but then you have to even have minions to start with, and Frozen Ice doesn't even have anything at the moment, so this is just really poor for Frozen Ice. And I feel like his Hunter games have always been kind of like this, that he's just drawing very awkwardly every single time.
Yeah, and this was. I think this might be kind of interesting. So when you're playing with us Face Hunter, I think it's often better to silence the the scientist than it is to silence the Doomsayer. Like that's like the normal play to do. You keep a silence for a Doomsayer, but I think it's often better whenever the Doomsayer is like dropped to just depending on how much stuff you have on the board, obviously, but to just maybe go face because you know that your stuff is gonna die anyway.
Yeah, instead of healing him for 7 by attacking into it, you just hit him for 7, and then he has to find healing elsewhere while you just keep punching face with chargers and hero power.
Yeah. Just like play a charge and let it die. Kind of like that line.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point, actually.
That is the second barrier. Well, here it's getting silence for sure.
Yeah, there's no point
in both barriers again. There's nothing else. There's nothing else to play. There's nothing else to silence.
That barrier, though, again, gonna basically cancel out this turn attack. He's gonna go to 30 health this turn, which is pretty awesome.
Wow. Yeah, that's not what Frozen Ice wants to see. He's like, if this is an ice block, I can probably push in for enough damage to at least pop it and maybe, you know, avoid the second one. But this being a second ice barrier really makes it difficult on the Face Hunter.
I mean, Dog and Blizzard here, and Frozen Ice's hand is completely dead. He can unleash for one dog. That's it. Like, what did you do?
This is beautiful. Unleash for one dog. Unleash the hound. This is it.
Hound.
Yeah. You have to put emphasis on the lack
literally
of
worse than Stone Toes.
Literally worse. Yeah. Well, it's a spell, so I guess it doesn't trigger an entity.
Okay, now we're starting to get somewhere.
He's gonna do it, man.
The explosion trap is denying.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, it's trolling so hard.
You want to cycle that quick shot? Wait, you can't.
Yeah, but it's still damage, I guess. There's worse draws, I suppose.
I guess if he plays Acolyte of Pain and then attacks to get a card draw, you can always get rid of the first trap. Oh man, what?
Might as well.
I have never seen this in my life.
Like, this is one of those games, if he was playing ladder, I think he would just concede.
Yeah. Oh, certainly if his opponent drops, like, Antonidas here.
You require my
For Dog is like, how does he win
but
this?
Hey,
I don't
now
think
the explosive trap number 2 might be able to come into play.
Yeah, he's gonna unleash 2 doggies. That's pretty good for Z.
Just play with Antonidas, giving more extra doggies.
You know, there's value to be found here. Look at this.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
this is really good here.
Alright, well that's dead. And he still has a sort of Worgen Infiltrator left and done.
There goes his chance of popping the explosive trap. Well, Emperor Thorson, it's just nice to produce the
for a while.
Yeah. Okay. No beast though. Still can't kill a Thorson, but now maybe the explosive trap can add some damage in.
Allows him to play the second one too. That's pretty sweet.
If I see a Blizzard for that one Worgen Infiltrator,
yeah,
it's not impossible. He could.
Yeah, I would actually enjoy it. I would just enjoy it. Yeah, I just enjoy it.
It's better than Frost Nova, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or Ice Block.
Oh yeah, I think.
You want the ice block from the scientist because both of the barriers are gone, so he can't ice block here.
Oh, you're right. He's actually better off doing Nova.
Might seem excessive to some people. Like, why are you playing Frost Nova? But
there's no use for it later.
Doesn't this guarantee lethal next time? Oh,
okay. Freezing a potential weapon. That makes sense too.
Questioning whether or not the bow was a bigger threat than the Worgen. I think he came up with the conclusion that yes,
Whoa! Hold on, boys.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, damage.
Yeah,
oh wait. I think he just gave him lethal. Oh no, because of the explosive trap. Excuse me, forgot.
Yeah, the explosive is still there.
Yeah, the first ice block is at least gonna be triggered right away. Oh.
Okay.
And he's gonna get his
Emperor's gonna connect to phase for 5. That's actually a big deal as well.
Yes.
He could pick up a Frostbolt Or an ice lance. Oh,
Double
wow.
ice. How much is that?
That's it, I think. Double
what?
ice lance. Oh no, he's gonna be.
No, he doesn't have an
short.
activator with the Frostbolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys did the Frostbolt last time.
So you go for it. Just freeze the face.
Sure, you can double ice lance.
Yeah, why not? This is such a one-sided game. Even though it's like, you know that it's 7 health, it's like, it really isn't close unless Frozen Ice like
Hunter.
magically got quick shot into like Kazan Mystic. That's like the only way he could have actually done it.
He's gonna pop the Emperor and hope he lives.
He should have tried because it could have been a
duplicate.
A duplicate. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it couldn't. Could it? Didn't he kill anything before?
Yeah, he killed the end. No, that was before it. No, it could have been duplicate, I guess.
Could have been vaporized, man. Better believe it.
Chances.
Of course. Well,
Yep,
Dog locks the win with the mage, so at least that's out of the way for him. But now he's got to go against this Face Hunter with his Rogue. There's only one more win for Value Town to pick up here, so it's pretty close. But Dog still has to go through a few matchups still.
Yeah, pretty important that they grab this win too, because now you give Rogue more chances to win, and it's not exactly great against Face Hunter, and I expect Frozen Ice to queue this up again, but. The fact is, the earlier you can get the wins, the better, for sure. So you give more chances for your weakest deck to be able to do it. Because Freeze Mage is a stronger deck in Conquest overall than Rogue is.
I'd be shocked if we didn't see the Face Hunter in the next game against the Rogue. Because the Face Hunter, it's extremely good. Like, the Rogue is just too slow. So you can't zap, you can't sprint. Like, all those cards are too slow. And unless Doc was running Healbot, which I don't think was the case. It might be.
I think he does. In fact, I'd actually go ahead and say he runs 2 heal bots. That's what Dog.
Whoa, really?
Dog's Rogue deck is pretty well known. I think he runs 2 heal bots.
All right, maybe they've been working on. Oh, interesting.
I think there's one. I've tried some of his Rogue decks, so there's probably one. But even with that heal, but it's still really tricky.
Okay, we'll see.
Cool. If you run 2 heal bots, though, that gives him a lot more maneuverability around Face Hunter. Like, that's a really big deal.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it might give you that extra turn. The way for Rogue to win is to prep an oil early and just like basically outrace them. But how do you outrace with turn 1 Leopardnome? Ugh.
You know what Reyna once said? Leopardnome is a card that stands against every single principle that the Hearthstone embraces. Or so I'm paraphrasing perhaps, but I remember those words from him.
I thought he said Leopardnome stands against every principle of being a decent human being. I think
it might be exactly that. It might have been. Well, I mean, at this point, Frozen Ice is being, half the human being he could be, and about to become a quarter of it if he plays that second one.
Okay, keeps it on. Going for the fan value.
Yeah, I think you have to silence your own Leopardnome.
Silence your own Leopardnome. Oh man, that is ultimate BM.
It's a statement.
I think Hero Power is better.
Yeah, I like Hero Power too.
We also know that there's a fan of knives, but kind of maximize the Hero Power here, and the mana cost of his hand is so low overall that it's oh, there's the first heal, but
yeah.
Well,
would you want to put a bet that there's a second heal bot?
You know what? I listened to you, Frodan. I didn't actually ask Dog what his list was, and I believe you.
Right. I'm not buying just yet.
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just...
So we're just too skeptical.
Maybe I'm just like looking too much into the past. Dog could have innovated with the times, but the 2 heal bots would open up a lot. Speaking of opening up, Frozen Ice is thinking about whether or not he should attack here, and the weapon gives him a lot of flexibility to deal with really annoying minions. That would be
he can remove a 3/3 now, or actually, he can even punch stat if he wants to, but that's not face, so I don't know.
Yeah.
If you hit that, no.
Yeah, he must have been expecting the 3-drop, like an Earthring Farseer.
Right.
On 3 instead of a coin Vile Teacher. But then again, he still has the explosive trap to deal with it, right? Like, you just attack into it, then you set it up so it dies when it attacks you. Or when the rogue attacks, so... It's not bad. You can even weave in hero powers.
It seems like a good play to hit that and explosive drop, but then you're not going for phase.
You know what?
I mean, it sounds like an oversimplification.
No, you're right. You're right, man. You're right. You're absolutely right. Oh god, I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't want to live on this planet.
He's gonna hold just for the chance of you know, the freezing trap, but that's not gonna be the case at all.
Yeah.
One thing that I do want to say is Lotheb also introduces a really powerful opportunity for a rogue to come back too. Assuming that they have no charges and they just are holding kill commands.
Yeah, Lotheb is pretty good. Well, that's the oil. They prep oil. I think that's the best way for
yeah.
For the,
this is looking really powerful.
But the teacher still messes things up because the oil might land on a 1/1, and I don't know. He probably can't even do it here. Just Lotheb, yeah.
It's kind of commonly accepted that it's a liability in many cases.
Okay.
A lot of damage in the next couple of turns.
Yeah, Unleash can't be played.
Yeah.
5, 6, 11, 12, 18.
18.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. That's a great
That's
card.
pretty huge. But
That's
it's
good for dog as well.
And but
really
he
have
has he has the antique heal bot.
Is it, how much is this if he picks up a flurry? It's lethal.
Okay, so he's got 12, 16, 18. He would be 2 short off lethal, I believe.
Okay. Well, let's see how much the Unleash is gonna get done. Doc probably... Will he play around it? How much can he play around an Unleash? He could sap the Leper now. I would really love to see that.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Just because that Death Rattle alone is... Like, just the fact that it's an Arcane shot right now is a problem to you.
And what else are you supposed to do with the sap, really?
Yeah, in this matchup, pretty much nothing, because you're going to just send back a Charger. But now the Unleash dealing 5 puts him on 7. The Bow deals an additional 3. 2 more damage is lethal. Oh my god.
Oh, that should do it, unless he's really unlucky.
It has to hit...
2 knives. 2 knives to the face.
Well,
2 knives would do it.
1 to the face.
I guess on average it only hits once. 1 more. He needs 1 more.
Oh man. Those 2 last hits. Oh.
No, 1 more chance.
Come on. No! Dog is alive.
Wait.
I'm sure even he can't believe it.
How does he do this? He has to kill... He has to kill everything?
Yeah, everything, kind of. Yeah, because the oil is the biggest threat, but how do you kill everything? Number 1, you can't silence off the teacher. That's the first thing people need to stop doing when you're at this point. You don't silence off the teacher here, because you're giving him a guaranteed oil.
You want a hero power.
Yeah. If you're doing anything, it's killing it, but...
How much is he training for?
If he doesn't train for at least a teacher, then
oh my god.
there's a chance for him to die.
So this 8 on the board.
Well, that could...
Depends where the oil lands.
Doesn't matter anymore. With the
matter anymore. That's it.
Yeah, there it is.
That does it. There's 4 from the weapon and 2 from the ass side, regardless of where the oil goes.
Okay, that was a really close ending. Yeah. That juggler, man. That juggler.
Crazy end.
Here, if he lit 1 more juggle on the face, that would have died.
Ooh, it's the face.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the place.
Wow.
Oh, he should have BM'd himself and SI'd his own face. That was
a new BM meta.
Look, I'll do what your knife juggler couldn't, hit my face.
Sending a message right there to the hunter.
Right.
That reminds me of that hunter who actually played Misdirection and hit himself in the face back in the days. And it says something like, "No face is safe."
Guys, Frozen Ice loses 4 games with Hunter today. He lost against the Warlock from Trump, the Hunter Mirror, and then you just saw him drop the last 2 games against Freeze Mage and Rogue. That's
didn't play his Warlock at all.
Yeah, that's room for probably reconsideration, because I think Frozen Ice has brought Face Hunter a lot over the past couple weeks, and it's definitely been one of his least successful decks. You know, and of course, every Control player collectively around the world danced out in praise and rejoicing. So,
of course,
that will wrap up the series, guys. To recap, 6-3 as we started off really strong with 2 wins from Trump, followed by A nice couple of wins from Kibler with a cameo by Silent Storm. And then from that point on, it looked really bleak. Tidler was able to turn around a couple of games, but Dog ended up closing out the series, wrapping up the day 2-3. And that'll conclude it. Guys, you have any final thoughts about how today went? Starting with you, Noxious.
Yeah, I mean, this is another loss for the Team Celestial, so they've got to feel a little awkward about going forward in the league. Again, Frozen Ice on a bad run overall. It's not that he's a poor player in any way, but it's just on a really awkward run at this point. Maybe bringing a less unstable decks like Hunter, maybe Face Hunter would do a lot, because although it's an amazing class, I think the archetype is very volatile, and in a format like this one, that's one of the few things you can't afford. So we'll see. I'm just happy to see Kibler is still undefeated. We'll see exactly how that keeps going next week.
Undefeated player. There's a $5,000 bonus for the best performing player, and Kibler he's hunting for it. Whether it's going to be the most consistent through by the record, or maybe he doesn't lose a game ever. That'd be pretty cool and epic indeed. Savi, thanks so much for stopping by. Do you have any comments as we're looking at the standings here? Nihilum undefeated, a couple teams there, being able to fight for the spot, but the struggling team here is Celestial.
Not really. Like, I really enjoyed the games today. I think both of the matches were amazing, especially the first one, the clutch 5-6, where Zaled looked dead, and I don't think there's a heal shield block in there, and then he draws a shield block, goes back up against the Face Hunter. It was just incredible stuff. So I really like, for those who just tuned in, I recommend the rebroadcast. I think the first match was maybe a tiny bit even more exciting than the second one.
Gotcha. For those who are curious about the score, that's how many wins that they get on top of their series score. So for those who lose, or say they're like 3-4 at the end of the season, but they have like 25 tiebreaker score, which is higher than 20, then they'll be the ones counting higher than their opponents. In the event of that being a tie, the head-to-head score with the team that they're tied with will be the deciding factor. Before we go, we also want to thank the sponsors that make this possible. So shout out to Alpha Draft for being able to help hop on board with us. Make sure to check out their website, alphadraft.com, for drafting your fantasy for the ATLC. You can sign up today for a $250 matching deposit bonus and get started on your draft. Again, alphadraft.com. And one more final shout out to the Amazon App Store. We're doing a promotion. We're doing a giveaway for some gift cards where you can get $25 in addition to the $25 you spend. Amazon will basically double up on the money you spend to buy more packs. And it's through the Amazon App Store, really easy and convenient, and you save a bunch of money. We want to also let you know that deck lists will be online at Team Archon's website. You can check it out for this week as well as the following weeks, again, teamarchon.com. And the last thing we want to announce, I know it's been a lot that I'm talking about, I'll shut up after this, is that next week we're going to be doing Tuesday for week 4's broadcast. This is to be around Blizzard's announcement on July 22nd, which is happening in San Francisco. I'll be there, and I'll also be casting a little bit next week as well.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So final words. Noxious, go ahead.
No final words, really. I don't really have anything to promote at the moment, so yeah, I mean, thanks for watching. All
right, Savitz?
Yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks to Archon League for having me cast. Shout out to Forsen, Boys, and Value Town. Like, those who doubted those teams, I mean, they might have to reconsider.
Absolutely. They're doing really well, and we'll get to see them have another opportunity to prove themselves once more next week here on the Archon Team League Championships. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the follow button on the channel, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.